Hi there, thank you very much for joining me. So, my name is Laura Mason, for those of you who don't know me, and welcome to today's energy clearing. I am quite late, I'm really sorry. I had a problem getting on, but I am here. So, welcome. Hi, Jasna. Welcome, everybody. So, we are going to be talking about boundaries today, specifically energetic boundaries in regards to family. And we're going to be doing some clearings around this. So, I'm really curious to know how this affects you in your life. Please let me know. So, where are you all joining me from today? Hi, Naomi. Hello. Welcome, everyone. So I'm really excited for today's live. Hi, Geraldine. So we have people from all over, Florida, Ireland, Croatia. Welcome, all of you. Okay, so to receive the clearings, all you have to do is say yes. It's as simple as that. And I'm going to be doing the clearings through a theta brainwave. So the way this works is I go into a very quick meditation for those of you who aren't familiar with the process. And I ask for limiting belief systems, limiting energies, feelings, thoughts that are related to this topic that causes you to have poor or no boundaries with your family to be cleared and shifted out. And if you'd like to receive the clearings, all you have to do is say yes. So if you know anyone who would be interested, please do share this video so that they can also benefit. Hi, Hannah. Hi, Kristen from London. Welcome. Hello, Marianne from Dubai. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about this. So first things first, our family environment, the environment that we grew up in, can have a big impact on our life. It can influence all of our relationships, including our relationship with ourselves. We observe a lot within our family situation when we're children. And based on what we observe, we learn about people, we learn about relationships, we learn how to relate to ourselves and how to relate to other people. And the boundary style that we have in the present is largely influenced by our early childhood experiences. So it's very important to look at this so that we can actually shift it and change it. And how many of you have noticed the way you are with your family, you seem to be a similar way with other people? Hello, Joe. Welcome. So those early experiences really do set up the stage for our subsequent relationships. So it's very important to look at them and to change those fundamental belief systems that we learned when we were very young that are actually impacting us now. So let's talk a little bit about family. So there are many different boundary styles that family can have, and one particular one that I'd like to talk about today is when we grow up in a home where we're not really seen, we're not acknowledged, we are viewed as part of the family, we're viewed as the whole rather than as an individual, and individuation is not actually encouraged. What happens within this type of dynamic is we form limiting belief systems such I am one with my family, and yes, on a higher level there is truth to that because we are all one. However, within this belief, the idea is more like we function as one, we have to share the same belief systems, we have to think the same, we have to have the same feelings, the same opinions. And when you have that type of belief, what happens is you energetically fuse with your family members. You share an energy field with them. You share belief systems, you share feelings, thoughts, you carry their pains and vice versa. How many of you have been trying to shift your limiting beliefs and limiting energies around taking on other people's stuff, and it hasn't actually worked? I have worked with thousands of people who have had that experience, and I myself was there at one point. So the good news is it can change, and it's really, really easy to change. So within this type of dynamic, we carry this belief system, we have to be one. And often then what occurs is when we try to be different, we try to be ourselves, we are abandoned in some way. Now that abandonment can come in many different forms. It could be emotional abandonment, it could be rejection, it could be physical abandonment, it can be withdrawal of love, care, attention, support. That's really scary for a child, because young children are very reliant on their parents, and the younger a child is, the more reliant they are. So remember, a lot of these belief systems are coming from a time where we were very young, and they're sitting within our subconscious mind, and all the energy associated with those previous events, even if they were 10, 20, 30, 40 years ago, it's still alive within our subconscious, because our subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between the past and the future. To the subconscious mind, there is only the present. So although these events and these belief systems were formed many, many years ago, they can actually still be affecting you in the present. So then within this, you are sent the message, you have to conform and you have to be like your family. Otherwise, the consequence is you lose everything. And when you're reliant on them, that's really, really scary. So within that, you might form a belief like, if I am myself, if I choose for myself, I will lose my family. If I choose for myself, I will be punished. It will create conflict. So all of these old ideas are still sitting there in your subconscious mind. And although these things may not even be playing out with your family in the present, they can still be affecting you. And maybe for some of you, it is playing out. And ways in which that it can be affecting you in the present is you struggle to make decisions. You feel like you can't make choices for yourself. You don't trust yourself. You find yourself rescuing people, saving people. You say yes when you want to say no. And within that, you are saying no to yourself. So you're saying yes to them, but you're saying no to you. And then often that creates an energy of resentment towards yourself. This can all easily be changed. So first of all, a lot of these things are actually echoes from the past. They're not present. So let's give you a download around that so that your consciousness can understand. So let's download into your consciousness the difference between then and now. And although that may have been the case for you back there, it's not the case anymore. So let's just allow your energy to recognize that. And let's show you that you can make choices, you can make decisions. And you can do that without punishment, without being abused, without being abandoned, without being all alone. And the other thing that you have to get with this, if you don't know already, when you experience this within your family or within any group, if you don't conform, you lose. You lose attention, you lose love, care, support. That's not really love. That's one thing I want to say. That's conditional love. That's not true love. But when you experience those types of things, it makes you feel like you're in an impossible situation where you have no choice. But the other piece within that is there's so much manipulation and control within that. So although it's not verbally being said, the energetic message underlying all of this is, if you don't do what we want, if you don't conform, you lose us. So really the energy is, it's my way or the highway. So let's just allow you the knowing so that you can recognize if this is actually going on. Because when you can recognize the manipulation, you cannot get sucked into it. You can't get hooked in. So your intuition is where your power lies. And if you recognize it, you actually choose not to go there. So if you'd like that, simply say yes. We're just going to erase all of the belief systems and the ideas and the perceptions that don't allow you to accurately perceive truth and accurately perceive what is going on. Because as I said, that is where your power lies. So if you'd like that, say yes. Now, if you're afraid of being abandoned, it's something that can really limit you. It's something that can really stick you, because when you're afraid of being abandoned, often what you'll do is you'll make choices to avoid the abandonment. But within that, the fear of being abandoned is actually controlling you. So you have to look beyond that, and you have to look at, okay, well, what is my fear around being abandoned? What is the underlying thing? And often what I have seen from my 12 years experience doing this, it's a feeling of not being able to cope, not being able to survive yourself. But that's not true. Again, that might be an old feeling from the past. So you may have a belief on a subconscious level, I'm not capable of taking care of myself. So if I don't conform, I lose them. And as weird as this may seem, but there may be a fear of dying, okay? Now again, it's usually a fear. It's not usually a truth. And there may have been a time where you feared that you would die if you didn't conform. Now, that fear of death might actually be more about emotional disconnection, because emotional disconnection from a child's perspective is really, really scary. So we're just going to resolve that, and we're going to allow your mind on a conscious and an unconscious level to understand that all of those times are finished, they're over. And we're going to actually allow your consciousness to know how capable you truly are. And anytime you felt you weren't capable, can we just resolve that? And can we bring in the divine truth that you can see through divine eyes, that of course you're capable because you are part of the energy of creation. But what can happen is from these childhood perspectives, we don't see that. We forget the truth that we're actually part of creation. So let's reconnect you to that knowing, to that truth that you are part of the creative energy. So of course you're capable. And let's just download into your consciousness that you know that, and you recognize how capable you are. Okay, so let's do that for you. So these are the energies that keep you energetically hooked into your family's energy. It's the energies that keep you sharing a field. So although you want to get free, you feel trapped, because on some level you think, I'm dependent on them, without them I'll die. But it's not true. So we're just updating you with the truth in regards to this. Another feeling that can come up, if I lose them, I'm all alone. So a couple of questions I would encourage you to ask yourself. Is it worth you sacrificing yourself? And the second thing, is it really true I'm going to lose them, or is this a manipulation tactic? So how about we have the divine creator show you the difference between the truth and any manipulation tactic and any control tactic. And let's just take all of the illusions away. So all of the illusions that you have in regards to your family or in regards to anyone else, because although we're focusing on family, we're doing it with everyone really. Can we release all of that now? Can we bring in a frequency that's going to allow you to feel good about letting it go, and that you can know truth? Now, when you've been brought up in this type of family, often you'll form a belief, I'm not allowed to live my own life. So what happens is you experience your family or your parents or other family members vicariously living through you. The truth is, you didn't come here to live your life for anyone else. But often that is how we are entrained. And we're just looking at it from the perspective of, this is really valuable information. It's not from the perspective of looking at anyone being bad or wrong, because it's not about that. The other thing is that these are intergenerational patterns. So these are things that have been handed down through many, many, many generations. And a lot of the time people are doing it unconsciously. So they're not even aware on a conscious level what they're doing. But you can break the cycle now. And sometimes they are too. So let's just send whatever healing through so that you know that you are entitled to live your own life. And can we just allow you to know, reconnect to what it is you would like to do in your life? Because often when you grow up in this type of environment, what happens is you become attuned to the needs of other people, what they want, and you energetically begin to respond to what they want. And that's also part of that energetic fusion. You are energetically intertwined with them, and that can be a part of the way that you actually survived. So if you could read them, you could anticipate what was coming next. And if you could anticipate what was coming next, then maybe it was safer for you. You would be okay. But the truth is you are okay, and that's all finished. So let's bring that into your consciousness now so that you can know that, you can perceive that it's over and you are okay. And let's detach you now from being attuned to them, and let's re-attune you to you and who you are, what you like, how you would like to live your life, that you can know that. Is that okay? So then what happens is when you share that energy field, you start to confuse what your reality is, what your beliefs, your feelings, your ideas, your perceptions are, and theirs. And then you pick up on it, and vice versa. And then you start to make choices based on their thoughts, and vice versa. Are you done with that? So let's show you that you know the difference between your thoughts, your perceptions, your ideas, your beliefs, your reality, and your family and anyone else's, and that you can live your life from your reality. You can be the lead energy in your life, and that you can choose for you, and you know what that looks like, what it feels like. And as I say that, there's a little bit of an energy coming in of, if I choose for me, I hurt others. It's not true. Again, that can be part of manipulation. So can we clear that idea? And how much of this is actually not even a belief? How much of this is an energy, a thought that was projected at you from a family member or someone else, and you thought it was true? Everything is energy. So you just took it on. And here's the thing, when we assume something is ours that is not ours, we have a tendency to lock it into our body. So everything that was projected at you, that you thought was you, that was never you, would you like now to release it all? Is that okay? Just bring in the feeling that you can release it. It's safe to release it. That was the other piece I wanted to say earlier. Another thing that can really keep us locked into this energetic prison is the idea that we will be alone if we let go. It's not true. It's a fear. You can never be alone because you're part of everything. So can we align you with that truth? There may have been times in the past where you felt alone and you were physically alone. But the higher truth, if we switch lenses, is that you can never, ever be alone because you are part of the energy of everything. So let's realign you with that truth. And let's just resolve all of the times where you felt alone. show you that it's finished and it's over. And again, that could have been a manipulation tactic. If you don't conform, you get put out in the cold. So you've got to be willing to be there in that place in order to overcome it. Because if you're not, it will always control you. And the truth is, from my perspective, from working with thousands of clients, it's more of a fear and it's more of a manipulation tactic. So you have to move beyond that, but you have to be willing to let them go. That doesn't mean you are going to let them go, because if you're not willing to let them go, those fears will always control you and the choices that you make. So would you like to know that you can live without being controlled by your fears? Would you like to know that you can live without being controlled by your projections? And would you like to know the difference between the higher truth and your projections? And can we just clear all the fog away so that you can know the truth? So if you'd like that, just say yes. And often when you want to live your own life, when you want to make your own choices, you're faced with judgment in this type of dynamic. You're told you're wrong, or it's implied you're wrong, or energetically it's sent to you, you're wrong. And then often what happens, particularly when you're very in tune and psychic, you absorb that and you start to think it, I'm wrong, I'm terrible for wanting to make my own choices. None of that's true. How many of you have had a sense of obligation instilled into you? So you feel obligated to take care of your family financially or emotionally or however it is. How many of you have a belief that you actually owe them? So can we release that now? You don't owe your family, you don't owe your parents for bringing you into us. So can we just release that and align you with the higher truth? How many of you do have some kind of debt from some other lifetime with your family? Can we resolve that now? So all of the lifetimes that you have had with your family that's actually limiting you in this lifetime, can we just resolve it? Can we do whatever needs to be done to now complete it? And is it okay if we just allow your consciousness to know the difference between those lifetimes and this lifetime? The difference between the roles and the roles you played in this lifetime. So if you'd like that, say yes. And that you can be here now in the present without replaying any other lifetimes or any other roles. And any marriage vows that you may have to any family member, can we resolve it all and mark it as finished, completed, and do whatever needs to be done so that energy is now complete. So would you like to know that you can say no to your family, that you have a right to? And can we clear away any ideas that it's mean, it's wrong, it's bad, it's uncaring, it's terrible? You might have that as a belief, or it could be a thought that was projected at you that you took on as true. It's not true, so let's shift it out, okay? Now within that, some of you may have confused love with sacrifice. So you may have the idea, in order to prove my love, I have to sacrifice. So how many of you have that? That is not love. So if you have that belief system, you start to feel like you're being selfish if you choose for you, because you're meant to sacrifice. It's not true. So how about we go into your unconscious mind and your conscious, and we just take out all of those ideas, all of those definitions, all those perceptions about what love is. That love actually isn't. And let's just download you with an energy that is now going to shift all of this out. Would you like to know that you can be part of your family and be empowered and strong, and you can grow, and that you can be emotionally independent and still be part of your family, that you can be you and still be part of your family, you can make your own choices and move forward and still be part of your family? The other thing I want to say is, a lot of these belief systems are formed a long time ago, and we all grow, we all change, So sometimes our mind is living in the past, but our family members have grown, they have shifted, they have transformed, but we cannot see that because our mind is living in the past. So can I show you that you can recognize the difference between then and now? And you can actually recognize the difference between who your parents were then and who they are now, who each of your family's members are then and now, that you can see that, know that, perceive that, and embrace it. And sometimes they just think they know best because that's how they have been brought up and that is their conditioning. So they think that they know what's best, so they try to guide you, but they're guiding you from their distortions. So let's just allow you to know truth. Okay. How are you all doing? Let me know. So I really hope you enjoyed the clearing today. If you joined live, you can go back and listen over it and you will receive all of the clearings. If you were here for the whole thing, you can go and listen again and receive them on an even deeper level. Katie's feeling much better. Brilliant. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. Hi, Lisa. You're very welcome. So I wanted to share a couple of things with you in case you are interested in joining me. I'm going to be doing a really, really powerful clearing tomorrow on a much, much deeper level. It's going to be at 11 a.m. London time, and it is around freeing you from family bondage. So often we believe that love is sacrifice and love is rescuing, so we confuse love with different things. And often what we do is we unconsciously create situations in order to be saved by our family members because we think this is what love is, and this can feel like it's bonding, but it's actually more like bondage. Okay, you're kind of stuck in all that energy. So it's very much tied in with the theme we worked on today, but it's going on a much, much deeper level. So I would love for you to join me. It's at 11 a.m. British Standard Time tomorrow. I am going to share the link with you now in a moment. And Elena, you're very, very, very welcome. I will also be running another event tomorrow at 1:30 London time, which is about healing your relationships. And we have a specific focus on your relationship with yourself as well. So I'm going to share the links in case you'd like to join me. I'm just going to share the link from my calendar and then you'll be able to see them all there. So my website, in case you'd like to learn more about me, is www.lauramason.co.uk. So thank you very, very much for joining me. And if you know anyone who would benefit from the downloads, please do share this video. Okay, bye-bye for now. You'll see the link in about 1 minute below for the events tomorrow. Okay, bye.